Hello everyone, and welcome back to Retromancers. Tonight we're going to try doing a pickup video since we hear that's what the cool kids on the street do these days.
And, if everyone else is doing it, we're the leading followers of video production.
Video. A lot of videos.
Video.
Yeah. Anyway, we got here an array of 7 games that we got for Christmas. We'll dive right into the first one, Nightmare on Elm Street for the Nintendo. You ever play this game?
No, I can't say. I have played Friday the 13th, which I guess is kind of like the cousin of this.
And although they're both made by the infamous LJN, which everyone knows James Rolfe really hates, I actually like this game, Friday the 13th, and Jaws also, so I'm willing to give this one a shot. Watch the movies growing up?
It's like bits and pieces.
I will say that the first movie scared the crap out of me. The bed, there's like a black hole. It's like in the bed, and like blood's like shooting out of the bed, like they get like sucked into the bed, and like blood geyser. You thankfully do not have this traumatic memory.
No, I don't. You had the older brothers.
Yeah, my interesting story here. Because he was a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, and not even Halloween, just he's crazy. He put the Freddy Krueger mask on and had a glove with the knives, and just waited like that until I woke up. He didn't wake me up. He just sat there and waited until I would just naturally wake up with Freddy in my face. But anyway, he was a great brother. I don't mean to make it sound like he's... My cousins actually lived on Elm Street.
Nice.
And they were like younger than me, and I was like, I think I thankfully made the decision not to scar them for life and give them the movies. But anyway, moving on. Remote Control, based off the old MTV game show. Did you ever watch this?
Not that one.
It was pretty kooky, if I remember right. It was just like the 3 contestants were just like sitting there, like, and all the questions were sort of like pop culture stuff, but they were sitting in like couches and popcorn would rain down and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, It was like a couch potato game show.
It was like the game show for Generation X.
Yes. I mean, look at that MTV logo, if you can see it. See that? It's like acid wash jeans, something like that.
And even the sleeve, the little advertisement packet it comes with, like, hey, these are the other games that are available in our suite of, awesomeness. We start off intellectual, Chess Master and The Hunt for Red October. Then we go right into the other end of the pool with Win, Lose, or Draw, then MTV Remote Control, Funhouse.
That you just get trapped in like a room with clowns and they scare the crap out of you? That's the game?
I don't think it was quite like that. I think that's a different type of show entirely. Possibly illegal. And then Muffin Adventure, which, from what the description sounds like, it's based on The Great Muppet Caper, which is an excellent movie.
So it redeemed itself at the end of the arc.
And then it just finishes off with some Sesame Street games.
There we go.
Games.
Sashimi Street.
Focusing on Ernie and his magic and Ernie bathing. So.
Oh, whoa, give me that. I do have one comment about the games you mentioned. I had... On the Game Gear, the Sega Genesis handheld, I had the Chess Master, and I remember when it would turn on, it had like a garbled digital speak, and I remember thinking it used to always sound like, "Welcome to the Sex Master." It was like, "Welcome to the..." Whatever, man, I was like 10.
And this is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Alright, definitely a staple of 90s American Gladiators.
And we got the Super Nintendo one as well.
So we might do a double whammy.
Did you watch it a lot, or?
Oh yeah, it was, a lot of my friends and cousins, they would go to summer camp. My family could not afford that, so I'd be stuck at home watching daytime TV, which prominently was American Gladiators and Price is Right. Those were staples of every summer day. I didn't like the remake where they had Hulk Hogan as a host.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And Muhammad Ali's daughter.
Was she like fighting people?
No.
Oh, she's just announcing.
Yeah, it wasn't as good. It didn't have the heart that this had, where it's like, back then, like the names, like, Laser and Siren, it's like, those were badass. Yeah. Now it's like, God, it's cheesy, hokey shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Who was your favorite of the old crew? Do you remember?
Turbo, maybe?
Yeah, Turbo was cool. I remember Zap was one of the girls, right? Who had bigger biceps than me.
I think so.
But I think I had a friend who claimed his brother was Nitro, but I don't think I could ever like validate whether that was true or just like a ploy for cool guyness.
Though I think, interestingly enough, and I could be wrong, Siren was deaf. Like,
oh, that's interesting. We'll have to see. Maybe someone can do a little legwork on that one. One last thing on that. What was your favorite event? I think I know what it's going to be. Besides the Eliminator.
I would say Assault.
That's what I was going to go with. The Assault. Everyone wanted to do the Assault.
I think what's good with that, it was really like a skill thing. It was like a weak person could win at Assault.
It's all like tactical.
Exactly. You're just like timing it and all that stuff.
Shoot the tennis ball.
Where almost every other game was about, you know, endurance and strength. This really was a different side, and
yeah,
I appreciate that.
Joust is a close runner-up. I've always wanted to whale somebody with a pugil stick in the face.
That is every person's secret desire.
Do you remember that there was like offshoot shows? Like there was one with like medieval knights?
Yes, I do remember that.
What was it called? But it was awesome. But I remember all the guys had like, you know, names like Nightmare.
Yeah. But it was spelt like, you know, night.
Yeah, midnight.
I think when I first heard, I thought they were going to use real weapons, but they didn't.
It's like I want some severed limbs going on here.
Right.
No, we're not talking about maiming, okay?
No. Well, this is for daytime TV. So, I mean, American Gladiators is, you know, a definite video we'll work on.
Although I did try the Super Nintendo one for 2 seconds, and it seemed awful. But still, if the Nintendo one's better, we might be able to.
But maybe if it's two-player, if one player was assuming the Gladiator, and then it's like against a player.
I'm not sure if that's how it works, but
it should be how it should. Because then, how great would that be? It's like, all right, you got the assault, so I'm on the top, and I'm aiming, and you're moving on the bottom, and I'm trying to whale you with the
high-speed tennis balls,
which has got to hurt. That's got to be like getting shot with a vest on.
Tell me this would not be an awesome idea. You ever like have people come into your workplace and trying to sell like paintball packages or whatever, like for you and the team, you know, like that kind of stuff, right? If I was a millionaire, I would love to buy and make like an American Gladiators installation, and then you come do it like, you know, hey, how would you and your whole office like to come and compete in freaking American Gladiators with each other? So
sign me up.
So if anyone out there who's, you know, wants to be the sugar daddy on that plan, let me know and we'll make it happen. Yeah,
I'm sure you can buy the rights for a mere pittance now.
Well, it doesn't have to be American Gladiators, just, you know, a bunch of that kind of shit going on. Anyway,
right.
Moving along. Here's a game that I've heard a lot about, but I've never actually played. Journey to Silius, or
there we go.
Journey to Sneezeville. Yeah, Journey to Silius. Have you ever heard about this game?
Not. I just know of Sunsoft, but that's...
It's supposed to be like a really great shooter with awesome music and a somewhat interesting plot.
Like a space shooter?
No, like you're running around with like a gun.
Oh.
But it supposedly has some sort of interesting plot. And, you know, space stations in the future, that kind of stuff. I might be butchering this. I don't know. I haven't played it yet, but looking forward to it. Journey to Silius or Silius. Journey to something.
You wonder if like they had, you know, like it's interesting how you find who's composing music for some of these games. Like this seems like better than normal, and then you look up and it's like you'll see
the same guys.
Yeah, it's all the same. Yeah. But usually they have their own telltale signs.
Yeah,
get traces of it.
Who's the tactics guy? Is that
Sakamoto?
Sakamoto, like he always has the weird like aleatoric flute flourishes at the end of a song.
And he loves the horn section.
Yeah. The next game is one that I used to play all the time on the Commodore 64 with my brother. Skate or Die. Did you play this?
I think maybe a little bit on the Commodore. That was what all the kids at school who would skateboard, that was like their game. Like, oh man, it's Skate or Die, it's the best. And since I wasn't really a skateboarder, it just didn't, I guess, interest me in that.
You were more into the breakdancing?
I was.
I liked it. All I remember is that it was a bunch of mini games, and there was the green-haired dude who was the hardest like enemy, and I think his name was Lester.
Yeah,
Lester. And I think we've got one final game.
Possibly a lesser-known Capcom title, King of Dragons, as you can see from this distance.
Which we actually just played the hell out of.
Yeah, it's a stupidly simple game, but it's got a lot going on in it.
It's kind of like, it's a side-scrolling fighter game. Very limited moves though, but with some RPG elements. It's sort of like a dumbed-down version of the Chronicles of Mystara type games. Do you remember those? Like in the arcade, there was a Dungeons and Dragons games like Tower of Doom. The 4 players. It was like Dwarf Fighter, Orc, Dwarf Fighter, Elf, Cleric. You know what I'm talking about? Sticks to snakes, all that stuff. Nothing.
A little bit.
We together had beat it on normal, right?
Right.
But then I went back and beat it on the hardest mode with the wizard. So if you ever get that game, pro tip, the wizard, he seems like he sucks, but he's really the best if you can persevere.
I guess the downside with 2 players is you share continues, so when dead weight like me,
no.
like myself,
oh no.
come along, it's, you know, hitting game over.
Well, not the dead weight. It's more of the issue that when you're fighting stuff like a crazy dragon who just like sweeps the screen with like a flame breath or something like that, like that's like 2 deaths
Double,
you're gonna get
yeah.
instead of 1.
I mean, we definitely got some more material to work with here. We might do King of Dragons on expert, depending on how things go.
Be tough, but okay. Interesting, my lord. I think this mortal can handle it.
Yeah, and just interesting side note with King of Dragons. Basically, the composer who did the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack and Street Fighter composed the music.
Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter?
Because she worked at Capcom first. Basically, she was working on arcade titles, and she wanted to do like real games, like RPG games, and Capcom said no dice, so she's like, you know, screw this.
She blew up the building.
So she went to Square.
Joke's on them.
Right.
Kingdom Hearts is solid.
Yeah. Again, it's just interesting that these like hidden gems. It's like, oh, this plays pretty well, or this sounds cool. And then you look into it, and it's like done by these all-star, you know, developers and musicians that it just goes to show it's like the body of work speaks for itself.
Oh, with that being said, there's our Christmas haul pickup video. Hope you enjoyed. Any last words?
Yeah, if you like these pickup videos, we'll definitely keep producing them, and who knows, maybe one of these games will be in a future Retromancers video.
Sounds good. Anyway, I guess we'll see you next time on Retromancers. You spitting this?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
What movie? Read signs.
Oh.
Oh wait, you didn't see it!
No. You keep forgetting.